Welcome back to the Fantasy Brothers podcast. It's Josh. It's Ben. It is Monday night. You're going to be listening to this on a Tuesday. I am basically on pins and needles hoping Brees Hall can come through for me. And then I can beat
Against
Ben.
me. If Brees Hall has 25 points, there will be a new host of this show next week.
Why is that, Ben?
Oh, I will be in heaven.
I loved it. You didn't say it in the most direct way possible. You were just like, in a roundabout way, I will be no longer with us. I will be
I will be.
permanently unavailable.
Leave a message. I will not be getting back with you.
Oh, it's so funny because today in a work meeting, they so we have a very large bank that is one of the clients of the agency where I work, and very large company, and so there are times when things fall through the cracks. Namely, in this situation, there was a certain individual that had passed away, and apparently certain people did not realize this because they were trying to write an article featuring
How
him.
big is your company?
This is a very large bank. And they were trying to write an article featuring this person that had died. And they were asking, how can we get in touch with him? And one of my coworkers had to break
You
the
have an
news to them.
exorcist.
I think the phrase they used was, he is permanently unavailable.
You're going to have to find some sort of necromancer or something like that.
You're gonna you're gonna have to get creative on this one, guys.
Yes.
So yeah,
Maybe a body double.
if Brees Hall goes for, I think, 25 and a half points tonight, Ben will be no longer with us. If it happens during the recording of this show, that would just be poetic. Likely it won't happen, and I will be the one
We
sad,
would
but,
there
that's how it
there
goes.
would be a you'd have to send a lot of apology letters to anyone if anybody watches this live on YouTube. Ooh, it would get taken down real quick.
Oh, man. What a week.
It would complete my cycle too. Like I lost in amazing fashion in the one league I'm rebuilding in, which is great. Obviously, I'm trying to lose. I want the number one overall pick in that league.
Yeah.
I've already won in one of our main dynasty leagues. I've won in my other dynasty league. I've won all but one of my redraft leagues. So I'm dangerously close to like almost winning out this week if I beat you.
I'm dangerously close to losing out this week.
Ooh.
So it was not a good week. Normally, I've got the granddaddy of them all, which the team has been 8-0 so far. But, no CMC,
You're due
and
for one.
I was due for one. And honestly, it wasn't a massive poop the bed sort of thing. It could still end up being okay, but it hasn't been super great. In the other dynasty leagues, beds were soiled and the performances were terrible.
Your
So
team
it's
it
looking
was
like
some pillow fights out there.
there were some pillow fights.
Team was getting boo boos and nicked
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Put some
The
band
only
aids
one,
on it.
the only one I'm gonna win is the work league, and it's because the guy I'm playing drafted the New York Jets.
Ah.
Like
Well, what
all
if
of
Brees
them.
Hall goes off?
It won't matter. it,
You're down
he
by
has
that much. Can he
has
score 100?
scored. He has currently scored 13 points. Well, it's because the Jets are playing right now, but he's projected 73,
Oof.
and I've got 145. So that one's over. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for the guy who drafted New York Jets because
Always got to have a good homer in your league.
yeah, I haven't really ever had anybody in a league, and this one is just for funsies, but like I've never had anybody in a league really go all in on the homer stuff. Usually they're like, oh, I want this guy or I want that guy, and they overpay for him. He just, from the jump, all Jets.
Going all in.
He was
He
drafting like
probably
their
did that
sixth
when
wide
Aaron
receiver.
Rodgers was still alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was their guy, and he was very excited. And he got Brees Hall, he got Garrett Wilson, and it was like, they're going to be solid. If only he would have done that with the Miami Dolphins, he would actually have a couple wins.
Weak.
Week.
Oh well.
There's lots of news to talk through on this episode. Lots of
Good bit
injuries
today.
Yeah, a lot of sad
Some
stuff.
good things. Some good things.
Yeah. We can start things out with Kyle Pitts had 50-plus yards this week, which
Kyle
is,
Pitts has put together not a good week per se,
but not a bad
but
one.
not a bad week.
Yeah, he would not be a weenie this week.
You will take 8 points from Kyle Pitts.
There
I can live with that.
There is, however, two sides to every coin. And if you flip this coin over and brush it off and look at it, you will see Jonnu Smith with 5 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown.
There's a third side to this
Woo.
coin that the Bijan owners would like to talk about.
Yes.
And whew, oh boy.
There's not the excuse that he was sick this week either.
They got on the goal line, and do you understand the sequencing of they let Jonnu Smith, the backup tight end, throw the ball. This is first and goal from the one. From the one.
Yeah.
You let Jonnu Smith throw the ball to the other backup tight end, the third string tight end. Kyle Pitts is blocking on this play.
Mm-hmm.
Then you give it to Tyler Algier twice and kick a field goal.
Oh, and there was the one where they handed the ball off on a jet sweep to Jonnu Smith. Don't forget that one either.
Yeah.
Just good stuff.
I saw this on Twitter, and both scenarios are bad. You have one of two things going on, and both are not good. You either have Arthur Smith deliberately making horrible coaching decisions and not using your high first-round draft picks and not using Bijan at all. Or two, Bijan is not the best back in your running back room, which means you just wasted that pick.
That's incorrect.
Both of these are bad situations.
They're both bad. Bijan is definitely not the worst back. If you go look
No,
at,
he's not. I know that.
I saw...
Everybody in the world knows that except for Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I need to pull it up here because I definitely saw a stat breakdown of the two running backs because other people have also had these questions. Here we go. Yards after contact per attempt, Bijan Robinson is third in the NFL with 3.25. Tyler Algier is 13th. Missed tackles forced per attempt, Bijan is second. Algier 17th. Yards per carry, Bijan at 5.1 is second. And Algier is 23rd at 3.2.
I want to say I don't think Tyler Algier is a bad running back. I think he's actually
he's
a really
not.
good running back. But he's not close to Bijan.
Bijan, we beat this, it is a dead horse. This horse is so dead.
But it keeps happening.
I know, but if he were given an elite running back workload, if you were to give him Saquon Barkley's workload in this Atlanta Falcons offense...
That's what we thought was going to happen preseason.
Woo! Anyways.
He would be the best running back in football.
He would. Absolutely. It would be Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson. But we can't have nice things because of Arthur Smith. In good news, we've got midseason awards.
No weenies this week.
No weenies. We're just talking good stuff. Just happy roses, just tiptoeing through the tulips. It's going to be great. Before we get into the awards, though, we must talk news, and there's quite a bit of it. Let me know if Breece Hall wins the week for me at any point during this episode, by the way, because this needs to be known. But
you'll see my screen just go black. Yep, we're watching Monday Night Football. At least I am. I've got it going on over here.
Okay, good. Just let me know if it happens. If he has an 80-yard run, we'll just pause. First things first, in the news, some injuries to talk about. This one really, really just... It's so sad. Cam Akers tore his left Achilles on Sunday. His right Achilles was what he tore in 2021. Now it's the left.
All right, now I think we can put Cam Akers to bed. I think it's officially over this time.
Should we
Sucks for Cam.
deliver? Should we deliver a eulogy at the funeral that is now Cam Akers' career?
Yeah, we will add an additional midseason award, and it's called funerals. R.I.P.
It
And
is the
Cam
the
Akers
award for the
is
stars
there.
that burnt too bright.
It's tough for Cam Akers, man. He never got a shot.
He really didn't. I feel I like I wanted him to be good so bad. I will freely admit that I was one of the guys that just wanted Cam Akers to be that guy. And it looked like it was going to happen. The stars had aligned. Everything seemed like it was going to work out for him. And then the first Achilles. And then he works back in record time. And they added zero competition. It was okay. It was wheels up on Cam Akers. This Rams backfield once again seems like it's primed for a solid fantasy RB1. It just turns out that it wasn't Cam Akers. It was Kyron Williams from the jump. He's traded, gets change of scenery, and then once again disaster strikes. You can't come back from two Achilles injuries. I mean, one is the boogeyman. Two is you're just done.
Over with.
Like, should
Put
I
a fork
drop him in my dynasty league? Is that where we're at?
Honest, yeah. I mean, he was a backup in Minnesota, and he just had his second Achilles injury. Like, I don't see him coming back anywhere.
That's brutal.
I mean, I mean, he's got a chance to be on teams, but he will never touch a starting role again.
No. I can't even really see a Deonta Foreman path for him where
Not with two Achilles injuries.
brutal. Let's see here. Daniel Jones allegedly tore his ACL on Sunday in a non-contact.
I thought they confirmed it today.
Is that confirmed?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they confirmed it today.
I know we got the MRI today. I haven't seen it confirmed, but also that doesn't mean it hasn't been confirmed. Could very well be by now. Either way, he likely is going to miss the rest of the year.
Yeah, it confirmed. MRI confirmed he tore his ACL.
Rip. Is that now like the worst contract in sports?
Oh my gosh. I want to say, and this is not trying to be insensitive any means to Daniel Jones. It sucks for him. I mean, I don't want to be 100% bad on Daniel Jones because he has not had anything to work with. Like, this is a bad situation in New York. But this offseason, I traded Daniel Jones and a 25 first for Kyler Murray. Kyler hasn't played it down yet, and that trade has aged beautifully.
Man, like, and it wasn't like just the injury made this to where it is what it is. Like, he wasn't good prior to the injury. He had regressed badly. I mean, I think it was something like 3 touchdowns and was it 5 picks or like 7 picks or something? I need to check this, but it was not good.
Just pour one out for all our New York Giants fans. It's really their fault. I mean, you didn't get him a receiver.
Nope.
That's on y'all.
He is 2 touchdowns and 6 picks so far this season.
Oi.
Mm.
Oi.
That's not going to get it done, much less. I mean, I know he's going to miss time with the injury, but still, it wasn't good before the injury, and now the injury just sort of makes it to where I don't know. It's bad news bears for the Giants.
Still on a 4-year deal. I don't know. If they don't add any help in the offseason, it's kind of just over for Daniel Jones.
I think they're going to reboot on this whole team. I think they're going to let Saquon walk. I think they're going to try and figure out a way to get out of this Daniel Jones contract. I think they're just going to build the offensive line.
You think Caleb Williams is a Giant next year?
What are they? Are they in a spot where they could get the number one pick?
I don't think they're far out of it.
I mean, they might be able to get a Drake May out of it, and that's no poor man's second.
I am out on Drake May if that happens. Let's just start with that.
Well, I mean,
They are
Brian
they are two and
Dable,
seven.
2-7. Okay. Well, I mean, are they going to
Patriots
win
are two
another
and
game?
seven. Chicago's 2-7. Arizona's 1-8. So they more or less probably have the 103 right now, unless
Okay. Let's play
Carolina
this out.
or Arizona win some games.
Let's play this one out. Carolina might not do a whole lot of winning the rest of the year. I can see Arizona having a little bit of a surge as Kyler Murray returns, which is another bit here. He's going to play week 10.
Yeah. I also people will like Arizona gets Caleb Williams and and Marvin Harrison because they've got their pick and the Texans pick.
That ain't happening.
Texans are really good, so that will not be as high as we thought. But I really didn't see a world where they got out of Kyler's contract. They owe him a lot of money, and if they trade him, they take such a dead cap hit. Kyler's not leaving Arizona,
Yeah.
so they were not going to get a quarterback no matter what. But
Yeah,
continue.
and you're looking at Chicago, and frankly, I mean they're 2-7, but the Giants at 2-7 I think are significantly worse than Chicago. Chicago just added
However,
Montez Sweat as well.
Chicago does have the Panthers pick.
Exactly, and I think they're going to trade that pick. Well, I don't know. Do you think if they get the number one pick, would they take Caleb Williams?
I think they get rid of Fields and they take Williams.
Okay. Man, that would be fascinating. I don't know that the Panthers are going to figure things out this year. I think they're just going to be a whole big ball of suck.
No, they have no offensive line and no weapons. They're going to get Bryce Young killed back there.
Yeah, that poor dude. Poor dude. He has looked pretty good in spurts. Pretty bad this past weekend, but pretty good in spurts. So you feel bad for him. Jets might not, or the Giants might not get Caleb Williams, but they could definitely get themselves a really solid quarterback regardless.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Drake May. See Drake May as a Giant.
Yeah. David Montgomery is on track to return in week 10,
Monty.
according to Dan
No.
Campbell.
No.
How excited are you about a David Montgomery return?
0. I have finally gotten everything I wanted from Jahmyr Gibbs. Stay away, David.
He is going to steal Jahmyr Gibbs' lunch money once again, and everybody's going to be in shambles.
You want to see me Brees Hall this thing? I will be shattered emotionally if this happens.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have his role of 3
I
weeks
would
ago
like to
again,
say,
but
and maybe this is the hopeful, stupid side of me, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs has earned enough leeway with the coaching staff. He will at least have a more valuable role.
I think the stupid side of me, because I have David Montgomery in a couple places, hopes that Montgomery steps into his old role. But you're right. Gibbs has performed really, really well the past couple weeks.
He's so explosive. And you
He
spent,
is.
I remind you, the 12th overall pick on him.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. The Vikings are not confirming, nor are they denying that Justin Jefferson will play next Sunday.
They're being very wishy-washy. They're like, I've seen like multiple reports like they're uncertain if Jefferson will practice this week. I don't know. I'm extremely hopeful that he does. I remember when he got hurt, we were saying this is probably worst case scenario because they went on the road against the 49ers and then they had 3 away games against Chicago, Green Bay, and the Falcons. We're like, what if they only win one of those games? What if they only win 2 of those games? And then they're sitting at 3-6, 2-7. They went 4-0 through that stretch.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles.
Yep.
And they still went 4-0.
Yeah. That's why I would be okay as a Justin Jefferson manager. I don't think there's going to be any sort of gamesmanship with the rest of the season. They have played themselves back into playoff contention. And so any chance that they have to get Justin Jefferson back sooner rather than later, they're going to take it. So there's not going to be a, oh, I don't know, we're going to, you know, mess around. No. If Jefferson can play, he will play. If he can't, he won't. But there's not going to be any kind of holding him out because the season's done. The Cooper Cup of last year, the Christian McCaffrey a couple years ago, that's not going to happen. If he can play, he'll play.
They have the same record as the Bills. They're 5-4.
That'll put things in perspective. That's wild.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's wild. Taylor Heineke will remain the Falcons' starting quarterback, at least for 1 week.
Oh, good. Hey, he's better than Ritter.
I mean, I didn't really.
I did tell you that he would be better for Kyle Pitts than Ritter was.
It was
Not
about
that Kyle
the
Pitts
same.
will be amazing, but he's better.
I guess. Was he actually good? I don't know. They lost the game against the Vikings. I didn't really pay attention.
He wasn't. I mean, about what you expected.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Dallas Goedert fractured his forearm and probably will go on IR, which is bad news.
Will he go on IR? I haven't seen that.
He hasn't.
I saw where they
gone
were
on
like
IR.
talking about it, maybe not.
Yeah, he's a candidate. I don't know if that means he will or if he won't.
Anyone's a candidate.
Anyone is a candidate. You're right, but it sounds like he could very well go on IR.
Great
I don't
for
know,
Devonta Smith.
It is great for Devonta Smith. That is the thing we need to take out of this because Goddard missed, I think it was 6 games last year, and over that 6-game stretch, Devonta Smith was a top 8 wide receiver. So this would be great news for both receivers, frankly, because it just means wheels up for both of them.
It was already wheels up for A.J. Brown, but
yeah,
as someone who just bought back into some Devonta Smith shares, please let him start popping off.
You're gonna get all excited over the next couple weeks when he starts scoring again. I mean, he had a pretty good week this past.
And then Goddard comes back in the playoffs and just
tanks it. It's gonna happen.
I see it.
Know this. Kyler's gonna start in week 10 for the Cardinals.
Finally,
they.
Are
you all right?
No, Brees scored. That's why. No, Brees didn't actually score. I'd be in tears.
Frick. Praise be, though, to Kyler coming back because they saw 1 week of Clayton Tune and said, absolutely not, never again.
That's why they put him out there. They're like, we're playing Cleveland. They got like one of the best defenses in the league. Clayton, we now sentence you to death.
I told you they weren't going to let Kyler Murray come back in week 1.
You are not going out there against Myles Garrett. I am sorry.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Amazing. Josh Palmer went on IR prior to tonight's game.
But Jalen Guyton came off.
Jalen Guyton came off. Obviously, if you're listening to this, Monday night has already happened. I'm curious what this will. It is. Yeah, it's happening. I wonder what this will mean for Quentin Johnston.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, shall we talk some midseason awards?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. We're going to start things off with the best award that you can get, the Fantasy MVP. We have 3 nominees. We have Christian McCaffrey, RB1 on the season, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 1 on the season, and Josh Allen, the overall scorer number 1, even though his team is 5-4. All 3 of these guys have been absolutely incredible this year. If you're winning your matchups, it's probably because you've got one of these 3 on your teams, if not multiple of these 3.
That would feel pretty good.
That would feel nice. I don't think I've got any teams that have more than 1.
Nope. Yeah, me either.
But I do, all my good teams, except one of them has.
They've got one of them.
I got one of them. The winner is the Fantasy MVP,
This is midseason.
This is midseason, but it comes as a surprise and shock to absolutely nobody. Christian McCaffrey is the fantasy MVP this year.
Come on.
He scored a touchdown in like 18 consecutive games or something. Is
Something
that where
stupid.
We're at? It's not quite 2019 form, but it's close.
Close enough that you're fine with the difference.
He's been so good, dude. It's crazy because like when you look at like from a dynasty perspective, obviously in redraft he's crushing it and it's fantastic. But like in a dynasty perspective, the running back landscape has been so odd with the injuries and guys just kind of like falling by the wayside that having a guy that scores like this is so valuable where you have to have the conversation of like I know he's 26, almost 27 years old, but like would you rather have him than dang near anybody outside of like Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey? That's a conversation. I think you would take Brees Hall Bijan maybe, but
I
like
don't know. I think McCaffrey might be 2.
he might be. I feel like it's
I feel like
Brees is
Bijan-
in there.
The talent of Bijan is too good to ignore. I think I've got him at 1. But McCaffrey, like, he's got this year, and I think he's still under contract with the 49ers for, like, 2 more years, which means they probably have an out after next year. So
Yeah.
there could be another year of this from McCaffrey.
Yeah. At least, if not more. And knowing the 49ers, they'll probably just lock him up and have him there until he's like 30.
Just kill him.
Run him into the
Just-
ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been
it's-
fantastic.
I don't
And
know what to say.
Yeah, there's not a ton to say here. The surprise of the year, though, this is where it gets really interesting.
We spent a
because-
long time just talking about this one.
Yeah, we've got a lot of nominees. I think if we were a more organized show, we would have narrowed this down. But also, narrowing the list down would do a disservice to all.
Y'all
of the
try to narrow
surprises.
this list down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's guys that have come out of the woodwork this year, and if you've got them, you have experienced just fantasy amazingness. The nominees are Puka Nakua, who's, that goes without saying. He's been phenomenal. Josh Dobbs, who's currently the quarterback 10.
Who saw that coming?
What in the world? Okay. Devon Achan, who has played 3 games and is currently a top 24 running back.
He's played 3 games.
We played 9 weeks of fantasy football. He's the top 24 running back having played 3 games. That's unbelievable.
All
We
right.
just pause with that because that is unbelievable. Adam Thielen.
He's wide receiver 8.
Wow. That offense has looked so bad, and Thielen has looked so good. It's been amazing.
I saw a tweet that had me like, it shouldn't be as funny as it was, but it said Adam Thielen is like the white Cooper Cup.
That's good.
Uh,
That's good. DeAndre Swift.
my boy!
I think we
He's
put him
alive!
on here. He deserves
He's
it,
alive!
but we've got him here because of you, Ben.
He's the running back 5!
That's
5, I tell
bonkers.
you! 5!
Where do you have Swift in Dynasty right now?
Running back 2!
No, you don't.
Running back 3, okay.
No, you don't.
Bijan, CMC, Swift.
No, you don't.
Look me in the eyes and tell
I'm
me if I'm
looking
lying.
in your eyeballs.
Look me in the eye and tell me I'm lying.
You would have him number 3.
It's my boy.
Oh my gosh. Raheem
saved him.
Mostert.
The running back 2.
Who would have
2!
thought that Raheem Mostert would be the RB2?
I'm just as floored that DeAndre Swift is 5, that Raheem Mostert is 2.
That's crazy. This will change when Devon Achan comes back off of IR, but we just need to take a moment to recognize that Raheem Mostert, as a 31-year-old oft injured running back, is the RB2.
Good on him. I'm proud of him.
I'm proud of him as well. David Montgomery. I wish it was a surprise, except that we saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, some people were really surprised by that. I think the surprise in this situation, we both saw it coming. I think we had on our preseason thing, like we said, who is this year's Josh Jacobs?
Jamal
And we
Williams.
said David Montgomery. Or yeah, this year's Jamal Williams, and we said David Montgomery.
Yeah.
So we're not surprised that he's good. I think the surprise was more of how little they used Gibbs up until this point.
Yes. And if we had a negative surprise, Gibbs would be on there. Oh, wait, we do. The disappointment of the year. But yeah, David Montgomery has been very fantastic. I don't know if it's a matter of how much the Lions staff likes David Montgomery, how much of it is just that like he's perfect for them, because like he's not necessarily been outstanding. What am I looking for here? He's not been so good under the eye test that you're like, oh my gosh, he has got to be on the field every single play. It's just that he does exactly what they want him to do. He's great.
Yeah, if you're
for
looking at the eye
overall
test,
offense.
there's no comparison between him and Gibbs. Like Gibbs is explosive, he's faster, he's got vision. But it's exactly like you said. Monty just, I want 4 yards. Go get it.
And he gets it. He doesn't get tackled for loss. He keeps the offense rolling, keeps them on the right side of the chains. They're always in rhythm with Montgomery. It's very interesting. It's such a weird dynamic because Gibbs is so explosive and has looked so good in spurts, but Montgomery just keeps things rolling, keeps it moving.
Yep.
The final nominee here for the surprise of the year is Zach Moss, who just won't let Jonathan Taylor have the Colts backfield.
Yeah. It was a surprise how good he was at the beginning of the year when Taylor was on IR. And then he didn't go away once Taylor came back.
Yeah. Even Sunday, I mean, I know Taylor ended up with the better fantasy stat line, but like Moss is still involved. And I think that's a big testament to what he's done this year as well. It's not just that he was really good in a stretch without Taylor. It's that when Taylor has come back, Moss has basically just not allowed himself to be deleted from the game plan.
Yeah. I think we just got to accept he's a good player.
I guess. I think I'm on the
He's a
record
good running
somewhere as saying that he's not good, but I apologize to all Zach Moss truthers. He's not terrible.
There's not many Zach Moss truthers.
There's not.
There's not.
All two of you, I humbly put
There's
forward
one
my
guy
apologies.
who's had him since his rookie season. Is like, I've been telling y'all this was coming.
Yeah. The winner of the Surprise of the Year midseason award is Raheem Mostert, the
It's gotta be.
surprise 31-year-old
It's
RB2.
got to be. Like, all of these I feel are somewhat surprising. But I think all of them you can look at the player and then tell me there was a world where this happened. Like Puka is shocking, but a lot of people, I guess not a lot of people, but some people like did call it on Puka. Like I told you he was good. Then with Cup out, it gave him the opportunity to show it. Josh Dobbs, he's got some rushing upsides. I didn't see this happening. Some rushing upside in garbage time, he can score points. Put up 30 against a terrible Atlanta team, sure. Adam Thielen, like, we didn't think he would be the wide receiver 8, but he is the one on the offense. He's the veteran, the crafty guy, can get open. I know a lot of people hate DeAndre Swift, and everybody knows I'm a massive truther, but, like, he's the starting running back. He's an extremely talented starting running back on one of the best offenses in football. Didn't see him being 5, but there's a situation where he's very good.
Yeah.
No one predicted Raheem Mostert.
Not a soul. Not a soul. All right. Rookies of the year.
Some good ones
Nominees for this one. Puka Nacua once again. We should take a beat here because Puka Nacua I know he does not win surprise of the year, but he has been a complete surprise, a revelation. He's the wide receiver 5 right now. Wild. Came out of the woodwork. CJ Stroud,
We haven't talked about him much on this show, I don't think.
we haven't. We have not. And he's a star.
He's incredible. I I did not see a world was he was the best rookie out of this class. I thought if someone's gonna bust, it's gonna be C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I think I overestimated, or
I was wrong.
maybe it's I underestimated how good they would be, or I don't know the right way to say it.
I
I
think we
didn't
just
think they would
I
be
think we
this
just
good.
slept on Stroud. We were like we saw the whatever that Wonderlicker QB test was. Everybody
Yeah,
obviously that's not a major thing, but like everybody's like freaking out, like oh he's not that good, blah blah blah. Like he was. Everybody thought Young was better than him. Everybody saw Richardson at the combine and is like, oh my gosh, his fantasy upside is unbelievable, and it is. And Stroud just kind of got lost in the mix. Like in rookie drafts, I wanted JSN over him. Like I was, if I had the
yeah,
106, I was trying to trade up so I could get JSN and not have to take Stroud. Boy, was I
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. And I think he came into such a situation that had better weapons than we thought. Like
Yeah,
Nico Collins, we didn't think was much. Tank Dell was like, oh yeah, give me a break. And
and it's the
Dalton
Texans.
Schultz,
Like nobody.
yeah, but like all of those players, and this is also largely in due, like CJ Stroud has made them really good too. They are symbiotic, but
He is
there has
making
been
some
enough.
incredible throws.
Yeah, he's looked very very good. If you had to take quarterbacks to start a franchise with right now, I'm guessing the list looks something
Landon,
like
our buddy
it's
Landon Davis actually texted me this the other day.
okay.
He's like, I'm just curious where in Dynasty you have quarterbacks. And he's like, I know the few of them. Obviously, you know Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Lamar. That's around five.
Yeah, so then you're looking
Who
at
am I missing?
Trevor
Who am I
Lawrence.
missing? I think he's around Trevor Lawrence right now for me. I
Yeah,
may give a slight edge to Trevor Lawrence just because of the sample size for C.J. Stroud. But
then it's
after
him.
that, man,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
I want to say Anthony. If you're looking at a fantasy perspective, Anthony Richardson is probably in that conversation when he comes back next year. But like, I don't want to
If Richardson
overlook the
hadn't gotten
fact.
hurt, he'd be in this conversation
Yeah,
because he impressed me as a passer, which I did not expect.
yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to overlook the fact that Swift or Stroud just had 470 yards and 5
We're still
touchdowns.
talking about Swift. I hear you.
I
I
got
hear
him on
you,
the
big
brain.
dog.
Got him on the brain. Other nominee here, Sam Laporta. Bonkers,
Wow.
bonkers.
Wow.
Tight ends don't do this in the rookie year, Ben.
Like, not only is he doing it as a rookie, like he's been so good that he is like people are like, would you prefer him or Mark Andrews? And they're like, sure, give me Laporta. Him or T.J. Hawkinson. Him. Like, oh my gosh.
That's wild. That's wild. He is currently what we hoped Kyle Pitts would turn into, at least for fantasy purposes. He's been fantastic.
It's unreal.
The other two guys here are the two running backs, Bijan Robinson, Jameer Gibbs. I'll be honest though, these are distant fourth and fifth nominees.
Just because they've been okay.
Yeah, they haven't
They've
been
shown
great.
they've shown flashes. Jameer has been on a hot streak of 25 points each of the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Bijan's been just okay the whole season, but hasn't
Bijan's been on a
really.
downward slide.
Yeah, hadn't really gotten it done for you. The winner of the Rookie of the Year. Maybe it's surprising, maybe it's not, but for us, it is Sam Laporta. In
I
fantasy
wanted to say
football,
Stroud.
I do. I totally get it. Stroud has been great. Puka Nakua also. Like getting a wide receiver that, and it's the context with Puka. It's that he was nothing and he has turned into a very, very good wide receiver.
But it's also kind of the context with Laporta of rookie tight ends don't do this. This is
That's where I was
unheard
going.
of.
Rookie tight ends universally suck. I think the best rookie season was Kyle Pitts, but then it was like Evan Ingram, who just never really it was not this. And even Kyle Pitts rookie season, it was 1,000 yards,
One
but I
touchdown.
think it was one touchdown. Sam Laporta is doing it. He's scoring touchdowns. He is
He's
heavily
doing it at
targeted.
all phases. He's a 3 down tight end who is an excellent pass catcher in a great offense.
Yeah, is everything you want. So because of the nature of the tight end position and the fact that he's doing so well so early, it is Sam Laporta for us.
I'm okay with it.
Of course, because it's our awards.
Yeah, y'all don't get to say in this. I'm sorry.
All right, final category here. It's the disappointment of the
Oh,
year.
good. Ending on a sour note.
Yeah. The nominees. I know he was just the nominee for Rookie of the Year, but it's Bijan Robinson.
We got 2 rookie of the years in this conversation.
Yeah, and it's just because of expectations. Honestly, like Jordan Addison probably should have been a nominee for Rookie of the Year. Now that I think about it, but
He's been killing it.
he has been killing it. But yeah, Bijan Robinson hasn't quite been what you would have expected. Najee Harris, yikes upon us,
Oh,
not
boy.
good, not good at all. Christian Watson, I kind of forgot he existed.
What's he ranked now?
I don't even know. He's been so out of sight, out of mind. I truly have absolutely no clue where Christian Watson is in the landscape of wide receivers right now.
Christian Watkins.
Christian
Go
Watson
through
is
some
the
other
wide
names. I'm still
receiver-
scrolling. I'm still scrolling.
I found him
Go.
in PPR. He's the wide receiver 88.
Oh my. Mac Hollins is ahead of him.
Oh, he did miss 3 games with injury, and they had the bye week. But in games he's played,
Okay,
in
but what's he done
PPR,
in the games he's played in?
Yep, he's averaged 7.7 points in PPR.
And people were high on Christian Watson coming into this year.
He was a 5th-round pick, and he was creeping up into the third round. He was on par.
I
with,
was
like,
not.
T.
I will be
Higgins.
honest with you. I was not.
Oh,
I have not liked Christian Watson his whole career.
his measurables were nice, but it was risky. There was definitely a chance that he could go nuclear and be a stud, but it went the other way. Other nominees here: DK Metcalf. I don't really know if he's been a massive disappointment. I think he's been slightly worse than I thought he would be. But
He's not the top 5 dynasty wide receiver he was a couple years ago.
no. But like he hasn't really been bad either. He's just not been great. He's been meh.
I think there's more name value with DK than anything else. I mean, you see DK there, and you're like, oh my gosh, DK Metcalf, and then you break it down and realize he's only the wide receiver. Good Lord, where's DK Metcalf?
He's down
Where
there.
is he? Oh my gosh, he's a wide receiver 42.
Ooh.
And he hasn't
Okay.
been terrible. But he's
No.
averaging, he's gotten 13, 13, 17, 12, 10, 11, 6. Like he has
That's
only
so
like
bizarre.
one bad game, but no like spectacular games.
Yeah. What's he at with touchdowns?
He's got 2.
Yeah.
JSN has as many touchdowns as he does.
Interesting. Did JSN
And
score on
JSN
Sunday?
is just now coming into his own, I guess. He's thrown together 3 decent weeks now.
Huh. Bizarre. Weird. So yeah, DK Metcalf. The last member of the disappointment squad is Jameer Gibbs,
Shut your
and
mouth.
it's well, many a Sunday when the Twitterverse was going, why the crap is Jameer Gibbs not on the field? And it is what it is. This is where we are.
That didn't feel
The
good.
Biggest disappointment in fantasy football this year in a massive landslide. Not even close.
Yeah, of all the names we mentioned here.
There was one that was not like the others. It was Najee Harris. He is the biggest disappointment in fantasy
Wow.
football thus far.
He was going in the second round, I think.
Oh, dear Lord.
People were taking him in the second round.
Oh, my. Yeah, no, he's splitting work with Jalen Warren. He is inefficient. He's in a bad offense, which doesn't help. Like Rashad White has been inefficient, but in a pretty decent offense, and he's been just fine. Najee Harris is in a really rough situation, splitting work with a pretty explosive number two. Has not looked great. What do you do with Najee Harris in Dynasty right now?
I want to say hold him, but I don't know if his situation's gonna get better.
Do you got to know when to fold him, know when to walk away when it comes to Najee?
I you might have to,
Do
honestly.
you put him out to pasture at 25 years old?
Uh, do you see the Viking or not the Viking? Do you see the Steelers getting considerably better in the next 2 years? Because that's how long
Absolutely
they
not.
got him on his contract,
No, because Kenny Pickett's going to be their quarterback for probably the next 2 years,
and then he's
that
going to get his
means
second contract at 28.
yeah, and it's probably not going to be with the Steelers. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. So maybe that is a positive for him. But like if it's with the Steelers, I don't really see how it gets any better.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a halfway decent offer for Najee, take it. Otherwise, I guess just hold him because you're not going to get anything for him.
I traded for him in a dynasty league this offseason because I wanted to solidify my
I
running
remember
back
that.
position.
You know
People
who
were
you
mad
traded him
about it.
for? Traded for him?
Do I want to know?
You remember? You don't remember?
I don't.
Oh, let's tell this for the camera.
Oh gosh.
We get a lot of my L's on here, like Jameer Gibbs and stuff. Let's get a Josh L on here. You
What
traded.
did I? Oh dear.
Let me pull up the team. Let me get the squad on here. Hold up. Let me finish. You traded. You received Najee Harris, Rashad Bateman, and the third, and
Hmm.
sent Maurice Hall.
Oh dear God. You're kidding.
Woo! I am not.
All right. Well, on
You
that
might have
massive,
you might have won this league if you'd have just kept Maurice.
massive disappointment, it is time to end. Ladies and gentlemen, pour one
Josh
out
is gonna
for
go
me.
throw up now.
I'm gonna. I had Brees Hall in that league
You
and
had
traded him
Brees
away.
Hall. This was like right after the Dalvin Cook trade. You're like, I need to solidify my running back room. I can't wait on Brees Hall to be good. I need somebody. Najee Harris is.
But then that owner went and turned around and traded Brees Hall away too, didn't he?
No, he still got him.
Okay.
Najee Harris is the running back in that setting. Running back 29. Brees Hall,
Oh, he's top
is-
15.
running back 22.
Oh, he's not.
So it's only 7 spots.
Oh, but there is
However,
a.
Down the stretch, there is going to be a monstrous difference.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, well, alrighty.
All right, I've ridiculed
Folks,
you enough now.
I cannot bear my shame. It is time to end the podcast. We will see you later this week when we're previewing Week 10.
Well, we hope we'll see you because in the Granddaddy Dynasty League, you still do have Brees Hall,
Yes.
and if he has a big second half of this game,
Well, if Brees Hall has a big second half, then Ben just will cease to exist, and the podcast will cease to exist.
So, I hope we hope we see you guys later this week.
No pressure. There's only some conflicted. There's conflict over here. Let's put it that way.
Peace.
We will see ya.